John, that was what can probably be described as a courageous and spirited performance by Bradford this evening.
That's certainly the best we've played in the last 3 games, without a shadow of doubt. So, really pleased with the progress that we made. It's just unfortunate that we made that progress against a quality opposition, but lots of signs for encouragement and positivity.
Would you say, John, it was a chance to deliver a performance that instills a bit of belief and confidence, not just in the players but also the support base?
Well, I mean, my job's to look after the performance side of it. So, I know the playing group are feeling disappointed, but I know that they're feeling heartened and they feel as if they've taken steps forward. And should we have taken, there were sort of 3 gilt-edged chances in the first half. Should we have taken 1 or 2 of them, it might well have been a different result, but we didn't. And I think that would have reflected, that was a bit of anxiety, wanting to, doing double movements and so on, whereas if we'd have been in a good place, shall we say, we'd have just taken the tackle and played the ball and got on with it. But no, I'm really heartened with what I've seen today, and I know the players are. And they played like a group who cared for each other and who wanted to succeed with each other. So, and when you look at the number of people out and the fact we lost another player after sort of 8-9 minutes, I think we can say they've got a real dig today.
You just mentioned those 3 chances, John. Is it a case of if you take Tom Doyle doesn't do the double movement, where Sam Walters grounds the ball in the goal, that could be the difference?
Yeah, there was that kick, wasn't there, when Sam Walters palmed the ball back and young Dave Foggin Johnson just didn't react. But, I'm not going to criticise individuals because I thought as a collective we're really good. And anybody who's seen that will have seen they had loads of effort, energy, enthusiasm, and they cared for each other. And if you've got those things going for you, you can build upon that.
And on the back of what happened 9 days ago against Halifax, John, that was the minimum standards that
it was, yes, it was, and and we can take great heart from that because we've been playing a very good team, but we competed with a very good team for long periods of the game.
Aaron Murphy, of course, went off in that opening 10 minutes, John. What's he done?
He's got a knee injury that he'll have to have scanned, but they're looking at it as if it'll be a 4 to 6 minimum. So. It's another one where we've picked up another injury, but Evan Skerr he's done his head injury assessment, so he's done his 11 days, so he'll certainly be one of them available. So we've lost one, we're getting one back, and I thought young Sam Walters did a good job as well, from Leeds, just one training session with us, and then I thought he did a pretty good job.
Ultimately, John, what was the difference between the 2 sides this evening?
I think they took the chances, and I also thought they've got some quality, haven't they? Let's not beat about the bush. I mean, I think the halfback's outstanding, Riley Jacks. He really is, and he's a running threat. He's a smart footballer. He's got a good kicking game, good passing game. So, but I thought Matty Wilder was very good as well. And they did roll us a little in the second half down that middle and started getting the offloads and the quick rucks. But I thought we showed great heart and great resolve, and especially the first half. I thought defensively the first half was superb when they had a number of sets on us. But we've also, Mick, we've got to improve our discipline as well with regards to giving opposition field position so that they are camped on our line.
I was just going to say, John, I think it was 6 set restarts conceded this evening. Is that something you're going to?
It is, yes, it is. But in part, when you're playing against a quality team, you get challenged when they're carrying the ball, and they've got some big bodies, and who know how to play the ball quickly. And but we can't take shortcuts in order to control the ruck and slow it to our pace.
Publicly, players have come out this week. Jordan Lilly was one and mentioned the Odsal pitch, John. Obviously, you've had your say on it, but how would you try and turn that to an advantage? Because I know you mentioned in a newspaper article that the opposition, they come here and with a game plan they're playing on it only once or twice a year. You've got to play on it 13 or 14.
Correct, and that's that's something that we're having to address. But it's the opposition that I'm more interested in, and it's the same pitch for both of us. So, but as you're rightly saying, it's always easy to play on a Batley or on a Dewsbury or on an Odsal when it's just once in the season. But if it's week in, week out, you are limited in what you can do. And people say, well, they play very direct rugby. Well, it's difficult to do anything else because there's 6 metres either side that are in from an orthodox pitch. But I don't want to make the pitch an issue. I want it really to be about how we as a group have improved, and our attitude was first class, and looking to nail a win and then hoping to go on a run of wins.
On the back of that performance this evening, John, are you still confident that the club will achieve its ambitions this year?
Definitely, yeah. I'm very confident we can get in that playoffs without a shadow of doubt.
And just a couple more from me before I hand over to Simon. On the injury front, Chester Butler, how long's he looking at being out?
He's looking initial one. I mean, it depends on the grade of the tear. He's got a quad tear. We're hoping it's a grade 1, but until he gets it scanned, we can't confirm. So, hopefully it's an outside chance for next week, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
And Rhys Evans has had a bit of a prolonged absence now, John. What's up with Rhys?
It's a medical issue, so obviously that's a confidential issue, but we're hopeful that Rhys will get some good news from the results of the medical issue, and if that's the case, obviously he could then return.
And Sam Scott, who was named in the 21-man squad, was he close to?
No, it wasn't Sam Scott, it was the young army lad who was named in the...
Sorry, yes.
So Sam didn't have a chance today.
How far off is Sam, John?
He's back to square one basically after what happened last week. Right. So, it's we're doing it tough injury-wise. That's 10 bodies out. So take 10 bodies out of any squad and it's hard work. But, as I say, what I looked for today was a response attitude-wise and to show that we cared about each other. And I think they answered that in bucket loads.
And when you look at those 10 players that are missing, these are 10 players, John, that have played first team all season long.
Yeah, and we haven't had any luck with the Leeds dual reg, have we? Because unfortunately for us, Leeds have found themselves in a tough situation themselves. They've had a change of coach. They've had injuries and suspensions, and that's affected who's been available to us. Because if you look at your Tyndalls, Connors, your Mustafas, and the young kids, Sam Walter, if we could have them perhaps on a regular basis, it may well have been different up to that. But we can only deal with what we've got to deal with, and we can only look forward in a positive manner after what we've seen tonight.
As you said, John, obviously you wanted to see that performance. I mean, the fixture being as it was, you're playing Featherstone, unbeaten team, arguably the best team in this division. I mean, when having to wait for this game as it is and then facing a team of that quality, it was always going to be, was it almost a case of let's just see the performance and then see how...
Exactly that, exactly. And we talked about, I know it's the old boring coaching cliche, but we talked about processes, etc. But the big thing we talked about was a response in our attitude and our efforts and our application. And as I say, I think they've answered that.
I don't want to sort of downplay as a result, but it was almost a case of just go out and just show you can.
Yeah, correct.
Show, do yourself justice.
Yes, correct. And I think they did. So and anybody else I think who knows anything about rugby league will feel that as well.
Is that sort of more of the bar of where you want to set now? You sort of
it is.
Yes,
of course. Yeah, I mean, we, I've, as I say, we've taken a step forward. So if we continue to take steps forward, results will turn. It's only 3 games we've lost. We've lost by 1.3 points. And how many were it tonight? 14 against Featherstone. So it's I can't see any 55-0s or anything like that. So we're dealing with it and we're going forward with it.
I was going to say, I mean, in terms of the players' morale, then pretty good after tonight. I mean,
they're
frustrated with the result.
We are a strong group. We are a strong group, believe you me. And we'll make sure that we look after each other as a performance group.
Obviously, a shortish turnaround before Whitehaven again, one of the longer trips. But
well, we've had a few, but it's. I mean, we know for what we've to go to work in Whitehaven, Newcastle, Barrow, London, and London in a cup. So and we knew they were going to be 5-5, but with us drawing London in the cup, we've had 6 this year. But that's the division we're in. So you play the opposition that's in your division.